Welcome to Zupi Auto Telic Mindset. Welcome fans, viewers, all walks of life. I'm here with Mr. Kyle Saunders. I'm very excited today because you are my first artist.
Thanks for having me, man.
The last couple people have been athletes, but I'm lucky to have you as my first artist. So I'll let you give your introduction to the fans and viewers so they get to know you a little bit.
I appreciate it, man. How's it going, everyone? My name is Kyle Saunders. I'm 29. I'm an artist from Oshawa. You can find me under SiriusHours on all social accounts. I've been doing this for quite a bit of time now, to be honest. Since 10 years old, auditioning for Lion King, downtown Toronto, Princess of Wales, for Young Simba, doing movies, Cheetah Girls. I did a show called Adventures Inc. That was with Michael Biehn. He was in Terminator. Either way, regardless, I'm happy to be here, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Nice. Welcome aboard to the show, and we're excited to get this underway. It's nice to see a nice local Durham Region boy out of Oshawa, kind of, following his dreams. In the music industry, as we were talking earlier, it's a tough business.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I'd say very addicting, or it's very autotelic, and that addictive of the music and the drive, and to
Keeps you wanting more.
Keep you wanting more,
Yeah.
exactly. So I just want to get right into it, and just kind of describe as a young kid in Oshawa some of your hobbies, what you were into, what school you went to, and how you made your way into the entertainment business.
Man, growing up as a kid, that was all the fun. It was basically kicking a soccer ball around, doing judo back in the day with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Friggin', shite, man. Playing friggin', climbing up trees, counting sand. I can't remember what it's called now. Either way, okay. Regardless, childhood was great.
Video games.
I
I remember coming to your house playing Tony Hawk.
Oh, man, yeah. I love my video games, that's for sure. But yeah, growing up, I remember being in kindergarten, wanting to be in the choir. And then from grade 1 to grade 6, being in choir at high school. No, sorry, I didn't go to choir high school. I was doing the performing arts, sorry. That was fun. Ended up failing performing arts in high school, believe it or not.
Really?
I'm not even gonna lie on
that's
that.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because as a little kid growing up, sometimes being in choir wasn't the cool thing to do as a guy.
Man, I was in choirs in school, at a church choir, but that garnered my interest in actually wanting to perform, and that lent me the skills to be able to do something with it, so I'm grateful for that.
Oh, that's awesome. It's cool you've kind of from an early age you had that, that entertainment, that performing kind of within you. And
Yeah.
was that something, does that run in your family with, arts and stuff, or is that something you just kind of took on yourself?
I think it's something they've always wanted to do, but they never had the confidence. I was always one of those kids that just wanted to be the class clown,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
And I think I got serious around grade 6 or 7 when I was given the opportunity. Literally, the Lion King thing started all on a radio call.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I heard it's called a cattle call. You hear it on the radio. You get to go try out. I was too small. I was like a foot under the requirement. So I was really, really, really tiny at that time. Probably like 3'9" maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tiny. So you heard this call on the radio and you told your mom or dad, like, I want to apply to this.
Yeah, I just want to go try it.
So you have to call them, or do you show up? How did that all kind of work?
You just showed up and you hope for the best, really. One of the singing coaches, I guess, who was playing the piano there, she gave me the opportunity to help me learn how to be a better singer.
Development. So,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but my memory is pretty good. Your audition song was the Pokemon song, no?
It was.
I don't know
Yes, it
how that
was.
came to me, but I remember, Kyle's song, he sung the Pokemon theme song.
Yeah, that was the first song I sang for an audition.
That's
To
crazy.
be honest, yeah.
That's crazy.
It went Pokemon song, then it was the Beatles. Shoot, I can't remember the name of the song. It's Been a Hard Day's Night. I think that's the name. And then it went Under the Sea. Little Mermaid.
Oh, Disney hit.
Yeah.
So you're saying you were too small originally. So
Yeah.
you didn't originally get the role, did you? Or did you get the role originally? I can't remember.
It took me 4 years to get the role.
4 years, okay.
4 years of auditioning.
You just kept re-auditioning?
Yeah, they kept on asking me to come back because they seen a little bit of potential, and they knew I was working with one of the piano teachers, the vocalists.
Nice.
Yeah.
So and that was your 11.
Thank you, Noreen. Noreen Wable, that is her name.
Shout out.
Yeah, quick shout out.
So you were 11 years old when you got it. Back
Yes.
in 2000.
Yeah.
I think it was 11. So now walk us through that process of, now you have the role and how your life kind of changed with regards to, okay, you're going to practice, you're doing your schoolwork, whether you're still playing sports or not. How did you balance all this, and how'd you manage your time, and how did that kind of go about?
Well, leading up to that point where I got the role, it was a good 3 years of learning the industry on the other side. There's just straight movies, television, commercials. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Because in the meantime of auditioning, that's where the original vocal teacher introduced me to my agent.
Okay.
And he introduced me to another vocal teacher, which excelled me even further and helped me get the role. But everything up to that point, it was definitely a learning curve in terms of understanding how the business works. Because getting to that point, it was either do it because this is what you've been working for,
Yeah.
or don't do it because you can have something even more.
Okay, gotcha.
Right?
Yeah. So
But I knew what I wanted.
yeah, so 11 years old, like you're still in elementary school.
Yeah, hard work, lots of school back and forth, but man,
So your parents were probably pretty busy driving you here and there.
a lot of back and forth driving.
Wow, and it's all out of Toronto, or was it local?
Yeah, no, coming from Oshawa to Toronto every
wow.
day, that was, yes, be there by 9 in the morning, and we're leaving 11 p.m. at night.
Oh wow. So it's funny because I talk to my athletes, and like as a spectator, you go to watch, you see the final production, right? Whether it's a sport, you see the game, but there's so many things behind the scenes, little pieces of the puzzle that if you don't talk to someone, you don't understand, you don't really realize what's actually going into the production itself. And like same with, I was talking to my sister Cleta, like people don't understand judo, they don't necessarily, when they go to watch, understand the little things that are happening and why they're happening.
Congrats on our last two placements, dude.
Yeah,
That's
she's
huge.
doing. Yeah, I talked to her today. She's doing very well. So it's cool. Even at a young age, like you said, you have to learn the industry. You're 11 years old, and crazy industry. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So your performance. So how many performances do you guys have through that year?
Well, there's 2 performances each day,
Okay.
and that's every day. I did that for 9 months.
Oh wow.
So there's a matinee and the evening show. We had to be there just in case one of us got sick.
Yeah.
So it was intense. We had 2 months of rehearsal, and that was crunching because that's the first time I had to dance, sing, and act.
That's crazy.
And,
Triple threat, right? So if I were to ask you to sing a Lion King song, do you think you'd remember all the songs, the lyrics, or do you have to kind of go back?
Yeah, I definitely have to go back.
Go back, yeah.
I think I could definitely get it, but
It's been a while.
yeah, it's been a while.
It hasn't stuck with you fully. Oh, it's probably a good thing. But it's it's funny talking to us because like I said, we were chatting earlier, and I messaged you like, oh Kyle, like I was going through my my little box of things that I just keep that are memorable to me, and I found your tickets to the show back in 2003, July 23rd, Prince of the Whale Theaters, as well as the program with your picture and a little write-up on you. So I'm like, oh, it's just ironic that I found this. I'm hooking up with you to do this podcast, and then even like today, like I'm pretty sure the movie's coming out. I opened up my computer, Lion King song was on my Spotify account, so I think it's funny how I think it was meant to be. We're talking today, and even going back to last week where we were supposed to do this and we rescheduled.
Yeah.
So I think it's just meant to be. We're here talking a little bit about about your earlier career, but I know from then you've kind of moved forward now. You slowly have moved your way into the music industry.
Yeah.
So let's talk about like that transition period. So you're 11 years old. You did your Lion King stuff for a couple years, a couple films you were in.
It was a good 6-7 year stint of doing the acting gigs.
Yeah, and then like we were talking before, you had a couple agents. You went through a transition based on trying to just kind of going back and discovering who you are, what you really want to pursue, and what your passion is. Walk us through like the transition period, some of the people you met, some of the lessons you learned, and how you kind of made your way back into the entertainment world, but more specifically the music industry.
Right on. Well, transitioning from my first agent, realizing exactly what I wanted to do, which was music, I had an opportunity to either continue working with the acting, solely focused on acting, or take my time and breathe and learn to develop myself as an artist, because I chose to become something that I was not so much looking to be as a singer, but that was my passion. That's why I chose to do The Lion King instead of not doing The Lion King. Going from one agent to the other, in between that time, I wanted to be a kid, basically. So I took the time to enjoy myself, have fun, and literally learn more about myself than I did in a long time, because I've been so busy, and just that time let me learn exactly what I wanted to do. Learning to do the music. Actually becoming your own artist is probably one of the hardest things to discover, because you don't know exactly where you fit in until you find your own sound.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm literally getting to right now.
Well, and you hear the stories all the time of, you know, a young individual who goes into the entertainment world, and basically they lose that opportunity to be a kid. And good examples are Michael Jackson. You have, you know, even Justin Bieber, one of the newer Canadian artists here. Like, at such a young age, you're thrown into this industry, and you have to grow up fast to be an adult, to learn these things.
Yeah, you gotta be proactive.
Sometimes you can get lost in the shuffle with just being a kid,
Yeah.
like you said, and to find yourself, and just going back to the simple things in life, like you were saying. Got back into some of your skateboarding stuff.
Yeah, skateboarding, video games, enjoying life, being a kid, being a bad kid, being a good kid, all the good stuff, you know? But yeah, in terms of transitioning, like becoming, I think I was around 16 to 18 when I finally had a second agent, Jessica Martins. My first agent, Norbert Abrams. He was he's an amazing man. Jessica Martins, amazing woman, just two totally different agencies. And that's when I realized, by the time I was done with Jessica, that I want to solely focus on music, because that's all I did. Just write every day.
Yeah. So how did you get into, obviously there's so many genres of music, how did you get into like the rap, hip hop scene, or was that just an influence of yours right off the bat?
I'd have to blame it on my brother and a love for wordplay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something you've always kind of...
Yeah, I just love the way people create different ways to say something, or even just different meanings. And like, you can almost talk about like slang, but it's not even slang. It's just how people express themselves through music. There's no better feeling.
So okay, so let's dive deeper, because like we were saying before, like with my audience, I always talk about flow, being in the present state, and you know, when you're writing, you get to express yourselves. But talking to some of my friends who are in the trying to make their way through the music industry, sometimes you can't just necessarily sit down and say, I'm going to write a song. You have to be in the right mood. You have to have the right inspiration. It can come and go whenever. So, you know, where do you draw your inspiration from? when do you usually sit down? Describe to me your process of writing.
Oh man, literally, something could have happened the day before, like the slightest feeling of being insecure or being happy, anything. Just emotions drive you. So whatever I'm feeling that day, I'll just use that as energy and throw it on the paper. Whatever I come up with, if it sounds nice,
You roll with it.
yeah,
So it's all once you have an inspiration, it's right, pen and paper right away.
yeah.
Nice.
It's either inspiration from something, or I go through YouTube and I find beats from people across the world, wherever.
Yeah.
Just as long as it sounds good,
Yeah.
it'll get me writing. So
Nice. So let's go into I want you to kind of talk about how you came up with the name Sirius, your stage name Sirius, and how that kind of came to be.
yeah, Sirius is half of SiriusHours, and Sirius is basically my stage name. SiriusHours is the hub of where you can find me. I want one day to create a label, which would be SiriusHours, and it's just one of those things I came up with when I was, I think, 18.
Oh,
I thought it was very sleek,
Yeah.
and it's always been in the back of my head. I've always wanted something to reflect my image and what I believe, mainly what I believe, because it is an anagram. It's got 3 words, Sirius, which isn't basic the anagram, but you can find the word Isis in it,
Okay.
which is representing the goddess, and then ours is Horus.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
which is
interesting.
God. Yeah, it's all stuff that means something to me. So having something that finally blended together.
Yeah. What is that? So yeah, go into further detail with like what that means to you. So you kind of broke it down.
Okay, yeah.
But
Sirius is the star system, is a constellation in our night sky. It's one of the brightest stars in our night sky, and I like to use that as a point for myself, because I like to be bright and shining, man. Like, it's just one of those things. You got to be very, very. You have to be somebody in this industry, right? Like, I would like to be making millions one day. If I could use this as a catalyst to get there, I'll be happy, because it's all lore and history, especially now starting out.
Nice. So with some of the stuff I do, I'm not sure if you're familiar with like mantras, and things like that, where even your name Sirius is almost like a mantra to you, or it's an anchor.
Yeah, it is an anchor
to get you. You know, when you're on stage, you hear that name, and that, like you said, the bright shining star. So every time you hear it, okay, I'm on my path, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I think sounds like it's really key to you. And I think it's more than just the name itself, but like you said, the meaning that you have behind it.
Yeah, it does mean a lot to me, because it was one of those things that I just thought of, and I knew I was going to be using it for a long time, to be completely honest.
Yeah, well, you said 18, you kind of had in the back of your head that you're going to use this. So
yeah, I've always had it too, like planned it. Like I kept the email, I kept YouTube Spaces, channels, freaking different social accounts.
Yeah.
Just if I ever want to use it, it's there, right?
It's there. Actually, it's funny, now that we're talking about this, you remember the movie A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger?
Oh, yeah.
So in the movie, the father said, because he has to send him off when he's a young kid, right? Because he couldn't afford to he wanted his son to be someone, right? Go make yourself someone. And the line he uses in the movie is "Go change the stars." So as you're talking about, your bright shining star with Sirius, just kind of reminded me of that thing. Go change your stars, right? There's so many stars. Go make a difference in the world. Kind of reminded me of kind of what you're saying here. So like I said, I have a couple friends that are in this industry, and at a young age, you're gonna have people say like, "Why the heck are you doing this?" You know, because earlier on, like, you know, it's a risk. You're an entrepreneur essentially, right? It's a risk, and putting yourself out there and trying to, you know, find an income and a balance between your music, your social life, your family, your friends, and there's going to be people, and a lot of times people who are close to you say, "Give it up." What
Oh, yeah.
what are you doing? So how do you deal with those? How do you deal with those people? And have you come across? Has it deteriorated? Does it motivate you? How do you?
It's motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely motivation because I've been doing it for since 2011. Like, I remember doing shows in 2011 and just not even thinking about where I would be.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting much flack back then, but now that I actually take it serious and people be like, yo, man, you don't got to post every single day. It's like, no, I need to post every single day so I can break through whatever barriers will hold me back. Because there's a million other people, hundreds of millions of other people trying to do the exact same thing. And you could be good, you could be bad, but you never know who's buying views or plays or accounts, bots. There's so many ways to make it big in this industry. I just try to be as organic as possible.
Yeah.
So.
And it's crazy with like the platforms we have with social media, and as an artist, what you're doing to put anything out there that's you're trying to express who you are can sometimes backfire.
Oh yeah.
With people saying things, you know, I had a guy come talk at my university, business guy, and those people who said, "Don't do this, you can't make it." He called them the naysayers. So right away, as soon as you post something, people are automatically judging you, and I always kudos people who do this because you never know what people are going to say, how they're going to react, what they're going to do. But the fact you have, you know, the following you already have, people are definitely interested in your sound, your music, and connecting to your lyrics. So it's a big kudos to you that you even have the courage to put this stuff out there.
Appreciate that, man. Honestly, you just got to be level-headed and not let words bother you, because literally that's how I'm making a living off words.
There you go.
And with people just literally actually being dicks, assholes, excuse me, you can't really let other people affect you, because if you get a chip on your shoulder, it's going to be there forever. You got to be humble, man.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the key is being humble.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people lose sight of that.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to your name, you know.
Man, I've seen a lot of people, like, they make it on the radio.
Yeah.
And then they think they've made it, and then that's it. And then next thing you know, their band's broken up or something.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird industry, man. You got to be loyal, consistent, and you have to enjoy what you're doing, because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's not worth it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And that, I think, just ties into kind of my concept of, you know, the autotelic mindset, like we were talking about before, is being fully present in that moment. And that's where you kind of, you're at your best, right?
Yeah, I really honestly believe that you have to be as consistent as possible, because if you're not, you're just going to flake off.
Yeah. Or being someone you're not as well, right?
That too, or someone else is going to take over.
Yeah. Tell me about some of the, you know, the people you've met, whether it was earlier on, you already kind of touched on a couple people and gave them shout outs, but even to where you are now, that have kind of influenced you, even some of the music you listen to as an artist, that people have helped you and propelled you to where you are now, and where you get some inspiration and influence from.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of local artists, to be honest. I think I'm finding more inspiration at a local scene in Toronto than I have found inspiration from music in the last couple of years, because Toronto's so booming. There's so many different types of artists.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a certain sound being created right now, like sonically, in terms of what people hear when they think of Toronto.
Okay.
So there's the Drakes, the Weekends, the Tory Lanez, all those guys, and then they got the OVO artists, for example. If you listen to those artists, they all have their stamped sound and stuff, and that is very, very critical, because I can't find a balanced person for myself in terms of, like, I love rapping, like rap, 90s hip hop, where I'm just going off, blah, 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 and nowadays, I don't want to be able to, like, say that I used to sing.
Yeah.
I love singing, so I'm always trying to find a nice, what's the word, a balance.
There you go.
Between the rapping and singing, where I can showcase both skills, because I can't lose any of that, man. It's just too much fun.
Yeah. So what's like the feedback you've been getting from people? Like what do they say? Who's Kyle Saunders? What's your sound? What's kind of the feedback you've been getting from people?
Well, good feedback. I'm very prominent when it comes to doing like singy hip hop vocals and melodic stuff. I get a lot of feedback that people love the tone of my voice.
Okay.
It sounds very nice, I guess. Like, it's just weird when I hear people. Yeah, man. I like compliments, but it's weird to get compliments back. It just makes you all happy, which is good. I'm not the one to be like, yeah, feed me comments and stuff, but stuff like that, it's nice when you get good reception off the work you do, because you put effort into it, you expect something out of it.
So, like, comparing yourself to other people and stuff, like and like I say, some of the feedback you've been getting with your sound and then your lyrics, do people compare you to anybody, or you think you're really on the way to creating that signature stamp sound / lyrics?
Man, like, I get a lot of comparisons. When I'm rapping, it's like old 90s hip hop from like New York. And then like there's this young guy called Shaheem. When I was rapping for a long time, that's all people could compare me to. And now it's like, I got some people telling me, it's like, yo man, you're like the next Kendrick Lamar from Toronto or the next Weeknd. It's like, man, that's cool. I'm trying to be me, man. I'm just trying to be me.
Oh, that's too funny, but it's always nice to get people give you nice compliments, right?
It's a good boost of confidence, man.
Oh, that's fun. That's hilarious. Oh geez, yeah, but like you said, the Toronto scene, I think, is where it's at, and kind of like, it's cool you say local. Like Toronto, obviously we're Durham Region. Toronto, that's kind of our hub, and even with like my thing with my podcast here is like, man, there's so many good artists that are local that you just don't hear because they're not on the radio. But man, like they're grinding, they're doing it. There's some like sick sounds out there just from going to little shows in around Durham Region, not even Toronto, and hearing what these people can do and some of the messages they're trying to put out. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people that are sorely underrated or just sorely not seen. Exactly, not seen. And then like my thing is like, you never know who you're gonna have a conversation with, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're on the train, all of a sudden the guy sitting next to you, like, oh yeah, I'm a hip hop artist, or I'm a musician, and you never know their story until you get talking to someone. But there's so many people out there. It's unfortunate that they're not on the radio, or they're not, maybe haven't reached their full potential or in success what they want, because there's just so many people doing it. But like I find, like, man, like, thank God for platforms like Spotify and stuff where you can get your music out there, and gives someone like myself, who I enjoy all kinds of music, just to go and listen to, we'll say, the people who you just haven't heard their name yet, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I'm on YouTube and you're clicking buttons, all of a sudden you come across a guy. I'm huge on YouTube. I just put hashtag Toronto music, and you'll find a lot of nice stuff. But then that's what it is. It's a double-edged sword, man. Finding good music nowadays, because there's so much. It's oversaturated. Yeah. That's for anything, to be honest. Yeah. But that's where the better stuff outshines. You gotta just keep on being consistent, make good work, good music, whatever it is you do in life. So right now, let's tell me about a day in life of Kyle, when you wake up to when you go to bed. What does that look like? Oh, wake up, brush my teeth, take the dog for a walk, come back, find music to freaking write to, or start recording whatever I was working on the night before. Mm-hmm. Just constant working to make freaking music constantly. I gotta literally start living in a studio. Yeah. That'd be my best option. Yeah. There you go. So it's basically your eat, sleep, breathe music right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. And do you have anybody helping you right now? It's strictly you're running the ship, so to speak. Yeah, I got a good friend, John. He's the catalyst to the last 3 years, basically, to get me to this point. Okay. He is a friend from high school who told me to be diligent. He told me just do this constantly, be as consistent as possible.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where it ended up being every day for almost a year, and that opened a lot of doors. For showcases, pay to play, getting random offers to just perform. I just gotta say, be consistent. Good things will come.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of go back to, like you're talking about making music, making music essentially poetry, right?
Yeah.
And how, like you said, a play on words. Because I don't know much about, I know music in general, but especially the hip hop scene, the rap scene, I'm not really too familiar with it. And even how do you know you had this kind of hidden talent, playing on words, and how do you do it? Explain it, as best you. I know it's hard to explain. Sometimes people say you just do it, but
it's very.
Talk me through it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I remember writing in grade 10, just poetry, thinking this is cool. Again, and then that developed into rhyme schemes. It's basically rapping in my head as I'm reading. It's oh, this would be cool, rap. That developed into literally me posting videos on YouTube, but structuring up a song, I always start off writing the chorus, the hook.
Okay.
So that's what the industry's based off. It's catchy hooks nowadays.
Okay.
You could have the worst verse on a hook or worst verse on a song, as long as your hook is really catchy.
Okay.
It could be number one. Who knows?
Really, that's good.
As long as it's marketed.
Yeah,
right?
that's something interesting to know.
Yeah. Nowadays, man, structures on songs don't even matter too, because you can
just go as long as, like you said, it sounds good, feels good.
You can have a song that's not even 2 minutes, and it can be a huge hit.
Yeah,
and it literally has a hook at the beginning, an 8-bar verse, and then a hook that's a little extended with an outro,
and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I try to just make music that fits the song.
Okay. So do you go first the lyrics, and then do you create your sound, or it might be a little bit of both?
Everything's when I'm writing. Yeah. The melody's in my head as I'm writing.
Okay.
So I already know how it's gonna go, how it's gonna sound.
Okay. And then puzzling it together, so to speak. Yeah, it's very automatic, but it's also very you gotta go back and edit, just in case, right? Of course, yeah. Clean it up. Yeah. So I want to go to the song here, "Art of War." I know you wrote it a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the meaning of the words you're kind of saying through the song. Tell me about the song and how you came up with this one and where the lyrics come from.
Yeah, this song was one of those songs that I had. It was stuck inside of me, kind of. You got to write it out of you. Mm-hmm. This was almost a conversation to somebody, letting them know that whatever happened, it's cool, but it's not.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to break shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a song just letting somebody know exactly how I felt. It's all emotional, just very therapeutic for me, basically.
Okay, nice. And a lot of your songs do you grab the inspiration from your own personal experiences?
Yeah, this was definitely a personal experience song. Something I went through containing music industry, and it was a big hey, thanks for the motivation.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's cool. So I was kind of telling you about before, my balance board, right? And looking at your career right now, you got your music, you got your family, and like you said, we're still a young guy. You still can't forget to go out there and like you said, hop back on the skateboard and balancing everything together, because as much as music consumes you, there's still other aspects of life to keep you grounded and keep you balanced. Yeah. What are some of those other things how do you manage your time with your music, with everything else that's going on in your life right now?
Lately? Oof. That's a big oof. I literally have not had much time to enjoy myself. The past week actually took 3 days to just do nothing.
Okay.
I went partying with some friends. Did the Cedar Park thing, pool parties back at his place. Went bowling one night. Just literally trying to find time to just enjoy and do nothing.
Yeah, and like
that's rare right now.
Yeah, and doing nothing. You know, I've heard this before. One of the other guys I was talking to, and like you said, doing nothing is, you know, sitting on the couch watching Netflix. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just to shut the brain off for a little bit.
Skateboarding, sweating a bit, freaking all that good stuff.
And just almost like releasing everything that you've been working so hard at, and just, you know, coming back down.
Yeah. You
know, so you rejuvenate yourself into the next thing. But no, that's it's cool, because I know with following you now, like you put out how much content you put out, and like almost every day you're putting out something.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how many songs and verses and lyrics and hooks you've written over, let's say, the last year. Not even going back, like
3-4 albums worth of music right now.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. It just goes to show you how hard you have to work to even scratch the surface in this industry. So with when you're singing, like we talked about your name Sirius, with your lyrics, what's your message? I know every song has a different meaning and a message, but as a whole, what are you trying to put out to the universe? Who Kyle Saunders is, what you represent, what's the big message out there for, you know, your viewers, as well as people trying to do something similar to what you're doing?
Yeah. Honestly, I have a little, I guess you'd say, the moniker before everything I do in terms of my songs. I always say 1, 2.
Yeah.
One time for the mind, second time for the soul.
Yeah.
That, like, the 1, 2 is short for one time for the mind, second time for the soul. That's like that's the gimme. That's what I'd like to give, right? It's a peace, positivity, self-respect, love, all the good stuff, because I just want people to listen to music and knowing that it's very, very, not so much relatable. I don't want to say relatable, because it is, but it's something for the soul to, like, enjoy. I want you to vibe out and relax, because I got music that will make you feel sad, music that will make you feel happy, stuff that makes you want to break stuff or whatever. I got mood music, and that's what reflects, because you'll feel it from when I write to when it's recorded and posted. That's the energy you'll be listening to, and that's when I want the reflection to be. Whatever energy it is, it's good energy no matter what. But
yeah. And it's cool because it's therapeutic, as you say, writing music.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which song someone's listening to. Like you said, it can be happy, it can be mellow. It might get someone through that hard time, whatever that may be. It might just be, you know, making somebody smile, laugh for the day, so they can have a productive day. And such a key. It's funny, the messages that people put out, it comes down to a couple words. One, the meaning of your name, Sirius, the bright shining star, what drives you, and this whole 1, 2 for the soul. It's only a couple words, but the meaning it gives out is so big, and it's good. That's why I like sitting down with artists and athletes, because they have a message to put out there, and you might not fully understand until you talk to them personally. You listen to a song, and if there's a word or a couple lyrics that hit you, that you
man, music it's a drug. Music is literally a drug in my own sense, because there's some songs that just captivate you so much that you could put it on repeat for the whole day.
Yeah.
And then that's just how music is, man. It's weird. Like trying to find the instigator in a track to make you want to keep on listening to it. It could be anything for anybody. It's always different.
No, that's some good words of wisdom and advice for people who listen to your music. So what would from your experiences right now, what would be some advice you give, you know, a young kid who maybe is looking to pursue this but is hesitant?
Oh man, You honestly have to go head first into everything. You learn from your mistakes. That's all you can do, because you're not going to learn anything if you don't make any mistakes.
There you go. You heard it. You heard it from the man himself. So where's Kyle? Where do you see yourself, or what's the path leading you to now in the next years to come?
Oh, I'm aligning myself with the stars, buddy.
There you go. Changing the stars.
Yeah, honestly, I just gotta find myself being consistent every single day till I find myself where I want to be, which would be, I'd like to be at the top.
Yeah.
Just like anybody else, but you gotta be conscious of the decisions you make. You gotta be very, very careful. You gotta know exactly who to trust.
Yeah, that's a big one right there.
Yeah, you gotta know who you gotta trust, and you gotta be very, very. You have to be yourself too.
Yeah.
You gotta be very, very careful though. This industry, you have to be careful, because you never know who's gonna want to be a snake and just cut your legs from underneath you.
Yeah, or who's listening and might propel you the next level, right?
Yeah,
you never know who's watching out there or listening.
Yeah.
In this case, but that's I've learned just so much just here talking here with you with a little deeper insight. Now when I go to listen to your music, I'll have a little bit more. It'll mean that much more than what it already what it means to me to listen, to hear it. So I'm gonna kind of put you on the spot here. You want to do us a little freestyle off the show?
Yeah, sure.
But before you go ahead, I just want to shout out again. So Kyle, you'll find him on Instagram, Facebook. He has his website. It's SiriusHours is his name. We'll post it for everyone here so you can check him out. His songs, lyrics. Like I said, he has a lot of content out there right now and a lot more to come. So we'll post that for you. Furthermore, lead us off the show here. No pressure.
Shoot. What are we gonna do? Okay, let's find some words off this table we can put together. So we got, we got the balance board, we got a phone, and we got some tickets. Balance board, phone, and tickets. Those are 3 words I'm gonna try to incorporate. Okay. Time ticking. Now you gotta try to get a ticket. Balance on the ball when I'm sinking. I don't know exactly what I think, but we dried out. I don't know but the time now. Coming back to the timelight. Know the limelight. Better, baby, shine bright. I don't know what I can say, but I'm a...
Oh, there we go. Check 1 2.
Mic 2 1 2 check.
There we go. Well, Kyle, I want to thank you so much for coming out here today and being on my show. It's nice to talk to an old friend from the past.
Yeah, man. It's much appreciated being here. Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you following your dreams.
Appreciate that, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show.